Rest in peace to Big Grandma, Janie Armstrong. All praises to the Most High. I wake up just to get fly. Italian suits with the neckties. Leather troops were the best ride. Miss Lutcher, thank you for your time. In the city, kid, just need a drive.
Yo, man, what's up? Woo!
What's going on?
As you can see, new scenery, new everything, man. You know what I mean? We in the Kitchen presents The Recipe. You know how we doing it, man. We're gonna be talking about culture, entertainment, philanthropist, entrepreneurship. Whatever you do, man. We're gonna have guests here. Recipe is built on just what's your ingredients? How did you get where you at? You know what I mean? Give the listeners, the viewers, let them know how to get to it. What was your hustle? What was your grind? What was your motivation? That's what the recipe is. And I'm here with my man Knox.
You already know.
Knox. Yeah, it's your boy Bills. You know what it is, man. We represent Putting in Work Entertainment. Holla at us, man. You know what I mean? We do music. We do events. We do podcasting. You can't go wrong with that. You know what I mean? Knox, how you feeling, my brother?
I'm feeling good, man. A little beat, a little something, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, shopping with the wife. You
Oh,
already know
shit.
that's
Oh,
the
man, I know how that is. Wherever you go shopping with the wife, man, they have a men's section where they can just all chill and banter against with each other when they wait for their wife to finish shopping, man.
The only thing about me, I know where I'm going to go get, and I'm out.
Yo, that's the thing with us, though. We already have in our mind what we're going to get, where we're going to get it from. And if it ain't there, we know plan B to go next. Yeah. See, women say, I just want to go shop, I just want to look at something. And that ain't really the case. They want to look at this, that, and the third. Next thing you know, you've been in there for 2 hours.
No, you've been there 3 or 4 hours and you got 2 items.
2 items, or nothing.
Or donut.
Yeah, because nothing looks good on it, right? No matter how they ask you, how do I look? You say, oh, yeah, baby, you look good. That's like the indication to be like, oh, I don't want that.
Nope.
Why? Because I said you look good. I'm supposed to be the one that say you look good. You want to what? What the hell?
Nah, you don't really like it that day. I can tell. I'm like, what did I say? Like, what you doing? What type of body language is I giving to you?
Yeah.
You think that?
Yo, that's crazy shit, man. Yo, man. Shout out to everybody who has a significant other, who has a lady. Everybody know if you've been out with your woman shopping, it's a long day.
Hey, look. For those that know, no.
Real shit, man.
For those that know.
Oh my goodness, man. Look, I just be ready to go in and out, man. You know what I mean? But that's crazy. Yeah, man. Me, myself, man, I work, as you see, you met me down at the Giggy. Yeah, I mean, work was work. It was cool. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the staff there. ABC always best here. What up with y'all? But yeah, that's what it was, man. That was my Monday mostly, just handling shit.
Motivation Monday.
Start off. Hello. You know what it is.
Sets it off.
Hey, man. And here we are. We still motivated, baby, to do this. Right after we got done doing what we doing, we are here to give y'all some content.
Here.
You feel me? It's us. You know what I mean? Hey, man.
We ain't strangers.
And look, and if anybody is interested in coming on for an interview, holla at us, man. DM us, man. You can follow me at, IG outbuilds_PIW. You can DM me. Knox, where they can find you at, my brother?
You already know you can find me on IG, obnoxious OBNOX IOUX _PIW. Just put the word.
You see that right there. You know what I mean? Holla at us, man. You know what it is, man. We just starting off. This is episode 1, season 1. All right? 1. You know what I mean? As KRS-One would say, 1. You know what I mean? But you are talking to 2 guys who is in the entertainment business, hip hop mostly, but we like all genres. Let's keep it a bean. But our genre is hip hop. As long as I've been alive, hip hop been been effective to me. You know what I mean? Of how I live, how I go about my life, you know, and the culture as well. You know what I mean? As we know, the 5 elements of hip hop is, you know, graffiti, DJ, and MC, and what I'm forgetting, breakdance and dancing, and you know, and we can't forget about fashion. You know what I mean? Because fashion is definitely big and part of the hip hop culture as well too. How it affects everybody. You know what I mean? You know, just to say, Knox, how did you get started in hip hop?
I always loved hip hop. You know, that was something, you know, at that time, you see people do it at such a high level.
Right.
He's like, dang, I wish I could rap like that.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't want to sound like him, but you wanted to have that that type of authenticity to, I mean, to your craft.
Right.
So I had a couple of homies, you know, I was growing up with, like my man SD.
Shout out to SD.
Petey.
What up, Petey?
Crack. You know what I mean? They were younger than me, but in hip hop, they were older than me.
Okay.
Like in that, you know what I mean?
Because they was doing it prior to you started doing it. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Crack did it like 6 years. Like he started in '87. Wow. I started in '93.
Okay.
Scat started like '89, '90.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and there was another dude that rapped with him named Cool Gadab. Shout out to Cool Gadab.
You
know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you know, he you know, he went to the Lord with it. So he started rapping.
Gotcha.
And so we used to I used to go listen to them. They used to come down, straight out 40s and blow and all that. And there was a schoolyard called McKinley. And for those that know. And where the court said, like, you can, when you rapping, you got like the little, it echoes. You know what I mean? Could sound. So one time we was at a house party. And the boy put a beat on. And them niggas went up there and rapped. And everybody was like, go ahead, Will. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
They said, come on, Will. You out in the street. I don't rap.
Right.
So they was like, yo, man, I thought you rap. I was like, no, I don't rap, man. I love it, but I don't rap. He said, yo, man, but you the one out here in the street, man. Like, just talk about what you do in the street. Just talk about that. I'm like, for real? Like, yeah, you be in the corner, you be doing this, you be doing that. I'm
right.
Like, all right. So next thing you know, I just started writing. I'm like, they ain't gonna like that. Months, they ain't gonna like that. They ain't gonna like that. And then the one joint, and they was rhyming, and Scat used to do the beatbox.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, yo, give me a beat. He's like, what you talking about? I said, give me a beat, man. I'm about to go. He's like, he said, nigga, stop playing. I said, no, I'm about to go. Man, I went, oh, nigga, you ain't write that. I said, yes, I did.
It was
hammered. Yeah, it was hammered. They like, man, you know what? To get that, you in the squad. I said, oh, I am? Next thing you know, I just took off.
Oh, shit.
I'm going here. I'm writing like 3 or 4 rhymes a week.
Okay. You had the motivation to push it.
Yeah. So, because I already knew I was going up against.
Right.
Because we always compared, like, Pete lived in South Philly. Rack lived in South Philly.
Okay.
His grandmom lived on 3rd and Norris.
Okay.
So he used to come down every Friday.
Gotcha.
So I was like, oh, when he come down Friday, I got some for him. He gonna help me. So it went to the part that we started going out in the streets. You know what I mean? We started spitting, and then it went to the point. It's like, yo, what y'all need? Y'all need a 40? Y'all need some weed? Oh wait, y'all need a right. And I was like, damn, we like hood celebrities out there doing. And you know, the boys are just like, yo, I want to hear that hard shit. Go ahead, Will, I want to hear that hard shit. You know what I mean? Because we was out, you know, I was out there. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I was a street dude before I started rapping.
Okay.
I just talked about what was going on around me, what I was doing.
Right.
I wasn't snitching on myself, but you know.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how
I was all alleged.
And we used to be called the Route Nation Squad, RNS.
Okay.
That was our name then. You know.
Yeah.
SD went to the Navy in '96.
Okay.
And I was working a lot, doing this. Crack was, doing his thing.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he started, buzzing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Him and
we
Free
see
had
what
the
that
same
went.
manager.
Yeah.
Like.
So that's crazy because now we see where crack is at now as far as him being consistent. Dude, have you seen yourself like, damn, I should have been where crack at, or was it just a thing like it just wasn't meant to be for you? How was your outlook on that right there?
Well, it's like me and Crack was at one time we was real close.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I started doing other things.
Gotcha.
He started doing other things. Right. So we was always cool, but there was a time we was together every day. Mm-hmm. We was talking to the same chick. I'm gonna put you on her folks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Y'all already know how I go.
Right.
When you a homie, you a homie. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we still got love for each other, but we wasn't spending every day like we was. It was a time like if you ain't see him, you see me. You ain't see let me see me. You know what I mean? So it was like, yo, where Pete at? Oh, yo, where Will at?
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Then we already had a couple other people that we used to be around, and they just like, yo, I just want to hear y'all. Yeah. Y'all about to get put on. Yeah. But we all know who got put on.
Damn, that sound like me and my man Chet and shit. That's how we was back in the day. We was basically inseparable too. But like prior to Chet, getting with Chet, how I started my journey, I ain't gonna front, man. Always, for some reason, I always wanted to be like some of an entertainer. It wasn't hip hop at first. It was more, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, so seeing him, you know what I mean, it was like, yo,
Mike can do this. Yeah, he'll do that for you.
And it was more like the entertainment side, like, yo, I can dance, all that shit. And I ain't gonna front. My pop wrote my first song, because I tried to sing at first. I ain't gonna front. Yeah, I tried to sing.
See, I never knew that.
Yeah, man. I tried to, I tried to harmonize. Ooh, yeah. I was on my Casey and JoJo. You feel me? Oh, get the.
You were singing in the shower.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I'm trying to be like Mike and shit. You know what I mean? But when I got introduced to hip hop, of course, everybody know it. If you didn't, I have an older brother who's already in hip hop. You know what I mean? And we already 11 years apart. So imagine me being 6, and he's already about 17.
17, yeah.
You know what I mean? And even before that, so me listening, and I can remember us. Mom was like, "You got to clean the house before I get home," type of thing. So I would help him clean the crib, vacuum, whatever we need to do. And while we cleaning, Mom had a stereo. The stereo with the tape deck, the record player on top. You know what I mean? Radio right there in the middle, the little tall, tall piece right there with the 2 big ass speakers and shit. And we play music while we cleaning and shit. Yeah. And he will always play his music. You feel me? And not only that, my pop always played music. Like, he had a little boom box. He used to play and everything. So I was just around music a lot. My mom had her collection and shit like that. So just listening and having them playing music in general was like, yo, the sounds, the music, the voices and things like that had me engaged. But like hip hop came, listen, I ain't gonna front, Heavy D influenced me. You know what I mean? But when I started writing, was with me and my man Nas. We was huge. We talking 93, 92. You know what I mean? We had to been 11, 12, probably younger than that. You know what I mean? But just starting to write. You know what I mean? And us trying to imitate certain artists and shit like that. You know what I mean? It was like that because we really had no reference in the hood like that. You know what I mean? So everything we heard was on TV or, you had the box. The radio and shit like that. And just imitating that, and we used to write and try to rhyme like them. You know what I mean? And them being, Because it was not only was East Coast, it was West Coast that was heavy too. So we listened to NWA, MC8, Ice Cube,
Compton was one in period.
You feel me? So them
Above
the law, and then it was West Coast. We had Heavy D, we had Nice and Smooth. These are the folks that I was like influencing him. It was a tree with Kumo D, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kid. You know what I mean? We talking early on 80s and shit like that, right? And then, like I said, Heavy D was like our first inspiration because I never seen a big guy rhyme like that and dance like that.
Yeah.
And he had bangers. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, Mr. Good stuff. And I'm like, yo, nah, this boy right here, Heavy D, all that. You know what I mean? And
who do you think you are?
What? Oh my God.
That was that joke.
And you can't forget about Kid and Play and all of, you know what I mean? Too Hype and all that shit. So all of that being said, just looking at that culture in the beginning and looking how they dress, looking how they cool and everything like that. You know what I mean? It was just inspiring, man. And then when I start seeing, so I'm from West Philly, right? So Winfield section. So right there, we didn't like on the corner of my block, Will Smith Pop lived there. You know what I mean? So Will used to come through Fresh Print. He used to come through from time to time. You know, his pop. You used to see him. You know what I mean? So that was like one of the first superstars that I encountered with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't like he was already Fresh Prince when I was young. You know what I mean? My brother, my boys, and them knew him before that.
Ain't nothing but trouble.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I think I could beat Mike Tyson and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Don't understand.
You know what I mean? Like all of that. You feel me? So, and I remember him shooting a video. I think I could beat Mike Tyson on our block in his pop ice shop. He had the whole block.
Oh yeah, you did say he said ice shop.
Yeah, he had an ice shop, and they blocked it off. This is when we was coming out of school, and everybody word got around like, yo, Fresh Prince is down the street, blah blah blah. So we all rushed down the street. Shit was packed down there. You know what I mean? But I was able to get an autograph. I don't know what I did with it. My mom probably still got it, whatever like that. But having that interaction and saying, damn, you know, having somebody close like that. You know, oh shit, you know what I mean? I can do that shit.
That's how it was around the way, cause Tough Crew. Some of them was from down the way.
Okay.
Ice Dog, I actually used to run ball with him. His name Will.
Oh shit. Okay.
His name Will too.
Damn,
Hancock and Jefferson boys, man. Y'all know
history, man. History, man. It's crazy that, you know, growing up in that neighborhood, in the neighborhood where that is the culture.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? You don't realize until you get a little older, but we was living in a hip hop culture
from the birth of
it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because that's what hip hop is. It is the streets. It represents the streets, and not just the streets of you doing something illegal, but it's the culture of you just growing up. Whatever goes on outside, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you was doing and shit like that, you talked about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was start of the inspiration of me getting into music and then leading into hip hop, man. I ain't gonna front, I was corny, man. I had a couple names and shit like that, but you know, starting off and shit, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Look,
because you gotta find that name,
yeah,
so you can find yourself.
Right.
Like my name was Big Will,
mm-hmm.
right? And then I was writing a rhyme, and I was like, the Slumper. I was like, yo, the Psycho Slumper.
Yeah.
And then that was my name. And then I'm writing another rhyme. I like that. Hip hop started to change from that murder. And then it went to the, you know, more of the fashion.
Yeah.
It's like 96, so I was like that.
Oh yeah,
that's my name is Sean Man.
Yeah, that's
my name used to be Sean Man.
Puff Daddy and
Yeah, then 99, I went to the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And the boy Fel, shout out to Fel.
Fells, what up, boy?
Felony Music. He's like, yo, I got bad news for you. I said, what? He said, Puff this son, this boy named Sean.
Yeah.
I said, man, stop playing. He's like, no. And then I was like, then I came at him on the track.
Oh, shit.
The track
you came at Sean?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's called Hate Team.
Okay.
Sean Man, original name. Fuck that boy Puff signed for $1 million and change.
Thank
you. You know what I mean?
You remember the rhyme too?
Yeah, that's crazy. Come on, man. It's like yesterday to me.
Yeah.
But
I know you're
me and Mac, shout out to Will Mac.
Shout out to Mac.
Mac It's like, yo, man, you know you just gonna have to change that name though, 'cause the boy out there. I'm like, yo, man, everybody call me Sean, man. I'm like, yo, I done built this name. Next thing you know, he's like, yo, man, you real obnoxious. He's like, you don't like too many people, man. I was like, you know what? That's what it is.
Right.
And I said, I'm gonna spell it with 2 X's because it's a common word.
Right.
And my name has been obnoxious since 2003.
Wow.
That's the longest name that I kept.
Yeah. Damn. I was Al Bills since 94, 95. You know what I mean? I got that name. Shout out to my other big brother, my old head, John Billions. John Ross, what up with you? His name was John Billions. And he kinda took me under his wing a little bit, you know what I mean? Showed me the ropes and shit like that. Far as some entrepreneurship, you know what I mean? I worked for because him and his brother, what's up, Oz? So they had a storefront. They had the corner crib and they had a storefront. His mom, Miss Brenda, did hair and she had a shop on the first floor. That was the shop. But in the basement was the barber shop. And that's where Jizz and Oz cut at, you know what I mean? And John was always like a flamboyant guy, you know what I mean? Get women, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wear the flashy shit. He had a first guy I see with eyes on him with diamond necklaces, earrings, and fur coats and shit like that. You know what I mean?
That's motivation enough.
You feel me? And he was cutting hair and everything like that. But just being under that tutelage at a certain point in my life and everything like that kind of took me under and showed me, ropes and just kept talking to me about on my own shit. You know what I mean? And everything. Of course, one ear and out the other. But I used to work for him. I used to work in the barbershop.
You put that money around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, he always used to try to get me off the corners and shit like that. Like, get off the corner.
Get me off the corner.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Don't seem right.
Yeah, show me how to be an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that was effective to the point. I was still going through names, and I said, I ain't want to be Joe and be like, I'm gonna name myself Al Billions. So I cut the billions off and said Al Bills. And that's where it is. And when you see Jizz, he gonna tell you, yo, I'm the real Billions right here. It's Jizz, you know what I mean? Like that. You know what I mean? That's my way, man. He showed me the ropes, man. He let me, he did a lot for me. I ain't gonna front around that time frame, man, and I'm appreciative of that. But getting that name, I want to say it would have been like 95, 96. And from that point, I just been Al Bills. From that point where though everybody started calling me Bills and everything like that. And friend of mine back in the day, he really gave me the battery in my back. Cause at first I was a little nervous spitting my rhyme in front of people. Cause I didn't want them to laugh and shit. Like, man, you corny. You know how that go. Like, man, I never hear that shit.
Y'all know. Y'all, you could not have been corny back in the day, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all getting away with a lot of stuff now. And we couldn't. You had to have your pen right.
No, that's a fact. Because let's talk about it because you really, it was more of your vocabulary, what you saying, how you saying it. Because it was always about how you saying it too. Because I used to be like, God damn, why are you saying like that? That shit was all that, you know what I mean? So it's how you saying it, and it wasn't making sense. You're just not saying anything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You made sense of it all and shit like that. So back then, you really had to make sure your pen game was tight. You just couldn't come out with
it. Really was a talent.
Yeah, you really had to take your time and write some shit. And at one point, writing my rhymes and shit, and shout man, he really put the bag in my back because he used to be like, go ahead, man, keep going. You know what I mean? So I used to take my rhymes, and I ain't gonna front. When the first time I spit my rhyme in front of the fellas and shit, and at first they would, in the beginning, very first round, they were like, hey, get out of here, man, that shit corny, blah, 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 like that. But when I came back, because I didn't go back in the lab, I like, no, fuck that. Yeah, man, they said I was ass too. So ended up going back in the lab, coming back. And shit, I remember we were standing on the corner of 54th Street and shit. And we was all, man, Mitch was like, yo, Bill, spit something. And I spit something. I didn't get through the whole rhyme, but them first few bars I said was fire. And they were like, oh shit. They like, yo, and he was telling me like, yo, you just gotta practice memorizing this shit. But that shit fire, man. Keep going at it. So once that said that, and I see that the fella was fucking with it, oh no, I was, that's all she wrote. So I kept writing that shit. But still finding my style though, and finding my way. You know what I mean? You know, I was a big Wu-Tang fan. Wu-Tang forever.
Who wasn't?
Wu-Tang forever. So you know, my guys I used to listen to was, of course, Meth, Ray, Only Built for Cuban Links was one of my favorite. Everybody knows it's a classic. Ghost, you know what I mean? Just a guy like that. You know what I mean? Who was some of the who inspired you? Let me ask you that. Not even just, it don't have to be artists, but like who inspired you to get to that point?
Well, like I said, I was around them, like P and them,
Mm-hmm.
but I was already inspired.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different watching somebody on TV that you don't know,
Right,
than to being around somebody you do know.
right.
And it's crazy. When I first met Crack,
He
he was rapping like Daz Effects.
That was style back then.
Yeah,
too.
but he was like, I rip it up. I still remember this boy rock. And I was like, yo, man, you sound like Daz Effects, man. And it was this dude around the way. Now, he's one of the first ones in the whole hood area. His name was Cheese.
Okay.
Sickening Cheese.
Yeah.
So Cheese, then I was a real big Redman fan.
Mm-hmm.
So Cheese, the one that you stop, you sound like Daz Effects. He said he will.
Yeah.
I know you. He said you're gonna have to stop listening to Redman for a while, right?
You was on that type vibe.
Yeah. I remember the first show. I had a tissue in my nose and a skull.
Oh shit! Oh yeah.
And it was something. I was hooked. I was hooked. It was right there, second cousins, man. Right there, second cousins. Everybody down there know when you come down 6th Street before you get to Diamond. Second cousins. Right there. We used to do joints up in there.
Oh shit.
And I'll never forget who performed that night. Ruggedness and Mad Drama was there that night. Mm-hmm. And they had songs on the radio. So I was on one.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he said, you can't walk with the big boys.
Yeah.
He's performing that joint.
Okay.
And that
Yeah,
joint.
yeah.
Yeah, they was there. I'm like, yo, there's some niggas in here. I'm going in. And I we ain't have our own instrumental, but we used the 69 beat.
Okay.
With the 69, the instrumental. And we went up there, put this on, put that on. And we went up there, rhymed and all that, and they was feeling us. So when we got off stage, and it was people in the crowd. You know everybody in the crowd till you come down.
Right.
They was like, yo, you killed that shit, yo. You killed that. I ain't know you rap. I was like, oh yeah, I ain't stopping this.
Yeah.
I gotta write something. Know what I mean? I gotta stay at it.
When you get that first notoriety of you doing well, that definitely put the battery in your back to be like, oh, you know what? I'm back in the lab with it. And I almost forgot my man Joe, man. My man Joe, aka Abby, aka Phil Banks. Yo, that's my man's. We all grew up together. But his rapping ability, oh man, that shit was like he had that shit. No, he had that shit. Shout out to him, my man Nate and shit. They was actually signed to Platinum Bound. That was an independent label in West Philly. They had the jackets and everything. It was like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I was trying to get down like, yo, Joe, man, put me down with them.
Put me on,
like,
yeah.
yo, man, you know what I mean? Because it was like, when you know somebody right there physically, it's kind of like, yo, you could touch and feel, pause, but it was more of somebody that was close to you,
right?
Actually making moves like, yo, okay. So
that
now,
motivates
so now you kind of like, oh shit, it's this close now. Before it was this far, because if you remember back in the day, Philly rappers really wasn't getting the notoriety as they was.
Remember what Fife said? I never forget what Fife said years ago. He said Philly are known for DJs, not MCs.
Right, exactly. But which was at one point true because Philly had some of the best DJ. Actually, that just like DJ Daddy Def still getting, You know what I mean? Because he was
Fresh
one of the
with
best.
Miz,
He was
DJ
best.
Miz.
DJ Miz and shit like that. But he
You know
was
what I
like
mean?
he was like one of the best guy at that time that I think he won in the tournament. I forgot who he beat.
Oh yeah, he was cutting grass. Jazzy Jeff was cutting grass.
You know what I mean? And I think that's how he became Fresh Prince, Will's DJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean DJ at that time was very, very.
That's when you had
to have the scratching.
You got no laptops playing music.
It was
cutting hammers.
You really had to listen to the music. This girl cutting grass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know at that time, even when you DJing, you really had to be on point, even because you really had to listen to the music. Sampling at that point was very strategic because you really had to go through the record and hear something.
Digging in the crates.
And hear something and be like, hold on, I fucks with that. And you really had to know your music too.
Oh yeah.
You just couldn't put on any records and shit like that.
Hours.
You know what I mean? So you gotta think the records, the actual records that the DJs was playing to really get certain samples. We all know that James Brown was the most sampled artist in history.
He's one of them.
But you had other artists like till this day I'm still mind blown for some of the samples. Like, oh shit, I remember that song. Damn, he took that from that. You know what I mean? So that was major.
Like the boy, he passed away Saturday. His name was Foster Silvers. And they was playing his joint, and that's where I said, "Oh, dang, Drake got funky enough from one of his joints."
What
that
joint is that?
Funky time, running by itself. Funky time. It's getting funky. It's getting funky.
Okay, yeah.
That beat.
Funky.
And then you know, Sean,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it's a lot of people, man, that people was like the sampling, like Grace Jones. Jay-Z said, well, the joint, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
That joint with Bleak on there, play Superman, end up like Chris Reed, paraplegic. Yo, that's from Grace Jones. One of her joints.
Yo, it's so much music. So hip hop alone is a gumbo of different genres of music because of the sampling and because of the beats and things of that nature.
That's what the recipe is all about, y'all. The ingredients, what's in there.
Hey,
that all comes together, man.
Hey, man, and for the young folks who's viewing this as well too, do your history too, man. It's always good to do your history, especially in hip hop, because hip hop started in the 70s, right? So it's only about 52 years old right now, right? So 52, right? So you gotta understand that the cats like guys like us that's still into music and things of that nature is not the fact, you know, we're not trying to get signed, major deal and everything like that. But this is something we love to do. And we know that we can still do it at a high level. That's what's keeping us going.
Yeah, it's like putting on socks.
You feel me? And to go back to what you were saying with like Fife Dog said, like Philly got the best DJs, but what was underneath those DJs was fire MCs. The thing about it was
DJs just got the spotlight first.
Right.
But you noticed then you had EST came out.
Yep.
None of them say he was corny.
Right. EST,
you know what I mean? Then you had Steady C, Cool C in them.
Yeah, you had
our school
AD, you know what I mean? You
had some people. Now there was one dude, I remember I bought his tape years ago. I ain't ever, and it's crazy. His name was MC Rev.
Okay.
I think he was from West Philly. And I used to listen to his joint. He wasn't hard, but he was just talking about I could relate to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, dang, this joint all right. Plus he was from Philly.
Yeah.
So, you know, I supported. Then what was crazy when Larry came out.
Yeah. Shout out to Larry, man. That's my guy right.
I used to stay down Club Flow, Industry Tuesdays. For those that know.
That's my guy right there, man. He was definitely put on, especially that during that time for Industry Tuesdays and things of that nature. we used to stay down Industry Tuesdays. We didn't go faithfully down Club Flow, but we used to go down the joint down Third and South. He had a joint right there.
Yeah, they moved the Club Flow.
Yeah, so they moved from Club Flow to go down there. Forgive me if I don't remember the venue, but it was definitely in the cut. But man, oh man, I met so many artists down there. Till this day, we still order, we still communicate and shit like that. You know what I mean? But and as long as we've been doing open mics and shit like that, man. Yeah. I mean, you just need that outlet and that opportunity for the artists to get their shit off.
Down Club Flow, Industry Tuesdays, I met S5.
Shout out to S5.
And I met Shellyano down there.
Shout out, man.
And we always remain cool. We don't see each other all the time, but I go, what's going on, man? What's good with you? You know what I mean?
Me and S5 went to school together in middle school and shit. Shout out to S5. And Shellyano, I met him down there too. Down Larry joint, and we still cool to this day. Shout out to Shellyano, but he from the bottom too and shit. And I remember Shellyano and Perk battle because I went to uni.
Yeah.
I went to uni and I remember them.
So about all Perk?
All Perk. Yup.
Yeah.
And I remember this shit too, like clear as day, because uni had a talent show and Rob was already known in school to be, one of those rappers.
Perk.
Yeah. Perk was one of them. And he played football. That's how me and Rob know each other, because we was on the same football team in high school and shit. But he rapped too. And nice. Kill shit. To this day, he's still nice. And I remember him and Shellyano, because Shellyano wasn't going to uni, but he was there. Okay. You know what I mean? For the talent show. And everybody coming up and shit. And I remember because Shellyano from the bottom, Perk is from 46th Street. And both of them, you know what I mean? And that was a thing too, but both of them was going at it. Man, that shit was like, that battle, they battled, I think it was like 2-3 verses, maybe 4 verses, whatever like that. But I remember that to this day and shit, you know what I mean? And
you never forget an epic battle.
Yeah, man, that joke was live, man. But shout out to Shellyano, shout out to Perk and all of them, man. That was definitely the books for that right there, man.
My man, I remember my man, he's living on Fairhill, like between Susquehanna and Dolphin on Fairhill Street. His name was Ron G's back then, but he go by Shotgun now.
Okay.
So, I'm chilling with him. He's like, yo, my young boy, he nice, you gotta meet him.
Yeah.
So he's like, he go to 10. I said, all right, we gonna walk. So I goes to meet this young boy, man, and the young boy spit so for me, I was like, Jesus. Guess who it was?
Who was that?
His name was Manslaughter then. Slaughter Rico.
Oh shit. Oh yeah,
yup.
Nice.
It was crazy. It was me, Shotgun, Slaughter Rico, and Freeway. We used to walk around. I had met Freeway because his cousins was kept telling me about him. Okay. And he was living on 52nd Street. He's like, yo, my cousin Les.
Yeah.
That's before his name was Basil.
Yeah.
And before, because I remember we was together, we was chilling. We was, smoking, drinking, and all that. We was freestyling in the car. That's one thing about that boy. He don't stop. And so he rhyming, and he was like, FREE way. And we was like, yo, you should call yourself Freeway.
Right.
He's like, Will, for real, you think it's Hot Will?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. He's always acting like, yo, Will, what this sound like?
Yeah.
Shout out to Free. Free. You used to always ask me, yo, you like this rhyme? Or is this or that? And because he always kept going. He rap. We like, all right, let's talk about something else. We done spit. Right. This nigga want to still rap. I'm like, so he's like, yo, Freeway is the perfect name for you because you keep going.
Yeah.
It's no end of the road for you. It's just keep going.
Hey yo, man.
And he blew up off that name, man. He blew up off that joint, man.
I remember me and my man Check, and my mans, we used to always hold ciphers together and shit and just rapping and shit. And Check was one of the ones that always wanted to keep rapping.
Yeah.
I remember we left the cipher and moved over to the other side of the room because he kept, Check just kept going. He won't let nobody in. Like, yo, boy.
He let niggas know, yo, I got rhymes for days.
Yeah. He's like, yo, boy, you ain't gonna
Philly dudes,
like, you know what?
a hot 16 to do. You don't need a 200. You don't need a 200.
You know what I mean? Yo, he know that shit. Yo, shout out to Check, man. That motherfucker stay rapping. I said, God damn, boy.
Hey, Check, you was on one.
Yo, man, you had to cut that nigga off. You had to jump in.
Yo, Cheese was like that.
It was like playing double dutch and shit. You had to jump in like, fuck, I gotta cut this nigga off because he gonna keep going. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's funny as shit, right?
That's how the boy Cheese was. Like, yo, you heard the joint Big Boys with Cardi just make the rain? Yeah, I heard that joint is hot. He'd still say it. He'd still say the whole rhyme. And then holding the 40 or holding it up like, yo, Cheese, man, the joint, man. You rapping like John Lil. That's what you say. You rapping like John Lil.
And God, oh man,
those are days, man.
Get blazed and do that shit. Oh man. Shout out to the bros.
There's another person. This the first person that I met that I knew personally that not only rapped but made his own beat.
Okay.
And his name was Mad Marbles. He had a song called Not Ballin'. That, listen, he sent music to labels, right? We talking 3 or 4 years. I believe, like, when I heard Craig Mack, the first person I thought of was Mad Marbles. I'm like, yo, man, the boy sprayed me and he sound like Mad Marbles, man. He's like, yo, man, he do sound like Mad Marbles. And I knew he was sending his music to labels to try to get something. Because he had this joint that was called KNOCKBALLN. Not Ballin'. No, the way he rapped, he said, I could say the rhyme. You like, hold on. When did he do this?
Yeah.
This is like 92. Not like 92, for real.
And then Flavor in Your Ear came out, what, 93?
94.
94, yeah.
94, like that song. Because that was like the anthem of 94.
Yeah. Flavor in Your Ear.
That and OPP probably was the most played singles I ever heard in my life during the summer. Man, that OPP in 91 and that Flavor in Your Ear.
That shit was, OPP was one of them, but I ain't gonna front.
Yo.
We was in middle school singing that shit. No, goddamn well, but that's how the hip hop get you, man.
You young, and you brainwashed.
Yeah, man.
But you wasn't saying nothing all crazy. It was like OPP. And then at that time, we loved the same music that the women loved. They loved the OPPs and that. They like, women don't really listen to that. They listen to other stuff now. Back then, like, I was a real big Black Moon fan.
Yeah, oh man.
I used to sit and chill with a girl. She's like, yo, put that Black Moon on. I'm like,
yeah, that was one of my.
I said, oh, you a keeper.
Yeah, that was one of my groups back then too.
Man, Buck was that dude, man. Buck had a run. You know, Wesson.
You know, because they was street. They were gutter. You know what I mean? You could tell they, you know what I mean? And I looked at them like, damn, that's us, man.
Yeah, they be rolling with us.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's us and shit right there. You know what I mean? Just and you know, climbing on gates and shit. You see them on the videos and shit, and everybody just out here like, yo, man.
You know what though? You know who really got me in the wearing hockey jerseys?
What's that?
Buck. On I Got Your Open remix, we had that Pittsburgh Penguins doing on. I'm like, yo, that's on banging.
I remember when those jerseys came out, my man Checkmate brother, his older brother and shit. I remember he came, he was like the first one in the hood with a hockey jersey. He's like, yo, what the fuck are you? Because, you know, hockey jersey back then was a couple $2 too, so you had to be doing something, you know what I mean, to get it. And I remember Use was, I don't put too much out there, but he was the first to have a hockey jersey. Like, yo, that's your fire. Like, yo, that man, and that's what I'm saying with fashion. When you see
hip hop is fashion.
And some of them and shit
influenced you that was around you.
The sneaks and everything.
Oh, yo, yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And how you wear them. You feel me? Like, yo, I like how you put that together and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Lord sweatsuits?
Yeah.
G-Rap. Yeah. G-Rap used to work. And on KRS-One, which was like, y'all knowing that he an old dude now, KRS-One was fly with how what he was wearing back in the day.
And back then, you made it cool to wear the African medallions and shit like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was heavy. You know
See,
what I mean?
it was cultural.
It was culture, right? You know what I mean?
Cultural.
So let me ask you
Flavor
that, right?
Flav with the clock.
With the clock, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
So what happened to the music? At what point do you see it transition from what we're talking about now to where it is at in this present moment? Like what happened? And I gonna say the culture is gone, but what's being projected as a mainstream is no longer there.
You know what I used to tell people when they say hip hop is dead. I say hip hop ain't dead. The fashion is dead.
You think so?
The fashion just changed dramatically. It's like they don't know what's live no more.
They just know what's name brand.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that the other day to myself.
Like what you say in your rhyme on the cipher? Yeah, my man set the cipher off.
Yeah.
At the art museum with E-Ness. What line did you say?
Damn, what I say? I said
Cam mix nice with Adidas.
Yeah.
And y'all, I'll be looking at y'all, and I'm like,
I don't trust y'all.
Y'all got Adidas sweatpants on some Air Max. Get a Nike sweatpants, bro.
Right.
If you got Adidas sweatpants, get some. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Y'all, we ain't do that, man.
Yeah.
We kept brands together.
Yeah,
we kept it together.
It's all about
man.
the coordination.
I got a Nike sweatsuit. What I'm gonna have on a pair of shells for?
Right.
You tripping.
And if I see anybody of in our age group doing that shit, you know what I mean? You.
I'm like, he's a foul. He's like,
no, that's a violation.
That's a pink slip.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a pink slip.
You get sent to the office.
And then we're gonna call the cops. Fuck
yeah.
We call them all because you're out of order. Oh, get the.
And another thing, remember back in the day, you got on niggas, yo man, you woofing.
Yeah.
Y'all don't even want you had to go to the barbershop, chicks looked at your feet, and they looked at. I'm telling you, you had to look like something. You could come outside looking like anything back in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. You couldn't do it.
You know what?
But you was gonna get no chicks.
Hey, look though. Boy, you put that on vibrate, my man.
You
cut grass. We on set, y'all. This is live. But you know, I got a question for that though, because oh shit, man.
I'm gonna turn this off. I'm just wanted to tell
Yeah, shoot a text real quick. You know what I mean? But the question that I have though, even for that, right? When I'm talking about the fashion and the culture shifting to being coordinated to now it's just whatever. I just put anything together and I wear it how I want to wear it. And I had to go back to again around the time in the early 90s when we had Wu-Tang, right? Mm-hmm. And Wu-Tang actually came out, you know, they actually Wu-Tang, Boot Camp Click, they had that grimy look. Right. You know what I mean? Far as how they look and everything. Cause I can remember Method Man, no name brand, just had Cohart. Yep. You know what I mean? Fro, half fro, half braided. And that was him. And the ladies loved that nigga.
But Ray and Ghost were the fly dudes.
Yes, they was.
They was wearing Guess jeans.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, they remind me like they from around the way.
Sweaters and the
were
Versace joints and all that shit. Yeah. So you had your little mix in that clan. The clan was like that.
None of them was the same though.
No, they wasn't.
That was so
you look at Boot Camp Click, they was more militant. They had the army fatigue or the army green shit on with the Tim boots and all that shit. You know what I mean? Now, it wasn't really about name brand until Biggie came in. For real. No.
You know who started
Biggie made it more popular.
Right.
Back
but
then.
You know who started
because you had the Dapper Dance and all that shit too.
You know who started the name brand? And he's from West Philly. It was Cool C. Cool C was the fly guy. Remember? I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, New York used to say Philly is a bunch of pretty boys. They used to say Philly is a bunch of pretty boys. New York used to have fatigue and all that.
Right.
They used to say that we were pretty boys, and the next thing you know, all of them started.
Right,
You know
because a lot of people used to come to Philly to get our style with the polo because we used to rock the polo, the Nauticas, the Tommy Hills, and all that shit. That was our thing to get.
And I'm gonna say something else to you. You remember when the goatee came out? That came into Philly and went so fast.
What's that? What's wrong?
The goatee.
Oh shit!
You know that came, man. We think, all right, that's done.
Yeah.
And then New York was doing it. All of them like, oh, you from New York?
Oh yeah.
That was
yeah.
Then the New York. They stayed with it. Then it went down south.
Down south.
Then they started coming with the grills and all that.
Yeah.
But that's the East Coast thing, brother. It was here. It was Philly and New York that was doing the go-to.
Yeah.
We just didn't stick with it that long.
Right.
That's all. Because Philly, we just go to something else.
Yeah.
Like we get bored with certain stuff, man.
So it's not really about the name brand. It's really about how you wearing the name brand.
Yeah.
I think what's going on now in the culture is that they think because they got on name brand, they fly. But you can't just put name brand on and thinking you fly, right? So
you got it.
So for instance,
you gotta have a style. We just say style. We ain't say swag. You gotta have a style,
right?
What chicks you see in the '90s? I like his style.
Yeah, you gotta know how to put it together.
They ain't say I like his swag. They say I like his style.
So if you got a Balenciaga on, how it look on? You dig me?
You know what's crazy? Another cousin, one time we on Roy Gerard, walking by the Checkers, and I had the Jordans on, the black and yellow Jones. It's 2000. I had the black denim Levi set with them Jones, and it was an inner city Jones. I had the cut and I had the headband.
Okay.
I seen this boy, and he had the same sneaks on, and he didn't put it together right.
Right.
And boy was like, yo, I see you got the same Jones sneaks I got on. I said, yeah, but you don't know how to put it together like that. And I just straight told her, I said, because you bringing the volume down of the sneakers. You really are.
Oh, get the yo.
Always been a matching dude, man. Like I'm like, yo, why would you do that? We got a red shirt on and blue jeans with a pair of black and yellow Jordans. What's wrong with you?
You know,
and he thought he was him.
You know, that's a skill though. A skill of putting clothes together. Because everybody can't dress. Let's just keep it a beat.
And it's a shame. I feel for you.
Everybody can't dress. And everybody is not going to tell you the truth and telling you that don't look good.
Right?
You can't kill a person's confidence because when they look in the mirror, they came out and they feel confident coming out the house like that. You know what I mean? This is our own opinion. But I feel like if you're going to do name brand, at least put it together and make sure that it wears you well. Or you wear it well. You know what I mean? Just don't buy name brand and be like, oh yeah, because I got on, you know, what else is Balenciaga? It ain't. What else is that?
You mean right now? You mean right now what they wearing?
Yeah. Balenciaga, the
oh boy.
What them shoes with the big ass soles and shit like that. But anyway, like all of that is cool. But it's how you put it together. So that's word to the wise to all of my younger generation. What you doing? We ain't hating or nothing like that. We just stating the fact that we learned from our old heads. Exactly. But how you put it together. Just don't buy name brand just to be buying it. That's number one. All right. If you're wearing it, wear it well. You know what I mean? Feel confident in it. Do your thing, Bodie. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, you know, I think it shifts from just being together. Like you had the Nike sweatsuit with the Nike shoes on. You know what I mean? You would even put on a Nike hat if you wear hats and shit. Mm. If you wear Puma, you had on the Puma sneakers. You had Adidas, you had on Adidas sneakers. You know what I mean? Mm. Even if you had on like Polo and the Getcha, you could put any sneakers together with that. But it's what you put together because now you're looking at color coordination as well too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sometimes you could throw it off with a certain color and then your sneakers be a total different color. But it's how you put it together. You know what I mean? But I think just watching our hip hop culture on TV really steered us in that direction of.
But you know what?
I like how you wearing that. what is that called? And shit like
I might give him a pass. I'm just gonna say
Mm-hmm.
we was raised off of straw bridges. See y'all ain't had it.
Oh yeah.
Straw bridges ain't had nothing whack in there.
Yeah.
Some was better than others, but
Right.
you got the polo section, you got the Tommy Hill, you got listen.
But look, you know, back then it was so many other stores. You had Straw Bridges,
Dr. Denham,
Dr. Denham, you had
Philly Sportswear.
Macy's still open, but they was cool. You had the Net.
Yep, I was just about to say that.
You had the Gap.
Yeah, see, Gap was one of them back in the day too.
You had damn, I'm missing something. You had US Boutique.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was so many stores that you can go to and buy these things. It was like you had City Blue that had this shit going on.
Yeah.
You know
and then
what I mean?
when the Jersey era came, you had Total Sport.
Oh man, the Jersey era was like major. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You had a couple. Then y'all started messing the game up by copping knockoffs. Y'all know how to mess something up, boy. I tell you, man. Like that. Some things you just can't have.
To some of the folk who couldn't afford the
authentic
real jerseys,
jerseys. Yeah, the authentic jerseys.
Because back then them jerseys was probably like $300.
Yeah, but if you standing next to somebody with a real one,
yeah, fact.
Mama Jay-Z said, they ain't Rolex diamond with them. You know that. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, they go.
Jay-Z made a lot of motherfuckers switch up their pitch too. I go from
and we was wearing button up, then they went to the Izzo shirt.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm still rocking my jersey, man. I ain't no follow. Get out of here. Because Jay-Z tell you put a button up on.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I go for he had a lot of us in button up though. I ain't go front, but he had
I grabbed a couple, but I was still rocking my jersey. I was all right.
Yeah, factual.
Man. Been there, done all that era in the early '90s when you was wearing the Tommy Hill sweaters, the low sweaters, and all that. You know what I mean? Yo, Chaps had a couple of Jones that was hard.
Hey, yo, man, we used to go to the outlets. We used to go down Redden Outlet.
Oh yeah, I remember them days before AC. They outlets. It was right. You had to go to
Polo Outlet, the Timberland Outlet, the Nautica joints. I ain't really fuck with Tommy Hill. Tommy Hill was.
No, I had some Tommy stuff. It was alright.
But like definitely.
Yeah, Tommy had a nice little
run with Nautica. You see me stay there.
I wasn't a Nautica dude till I got older because everybody was wearing Nautica. I ain't gonna wear what everybody was wearing.
But you know what I used to do? I was big on getting shit that no one had.
Me too.
Even with the sneaks, you know what I mean? Because I ain't want to be one of them. Like, you got to say, even to the sneaks. I was the one like people would ask me, where you get them from? Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, I had my stores in the cut that I used to go to.
You know what
get snicks and shit, and I'm like, nah.
70 from Broad.
Nah, I can't. Oh, get them.
Yeah. Try to find it.
Throw them off and shit. Like, where that at? Then they looking it up. Really, you couldn't end up looking it up on your phone and shit.
One thing we did forget though, is you younger than me, and I was young. But my old ass was going over AC and grabbing them Gucci's.
Oh yeah.
They had the Gucci's. Yeah, like
my old used to go up there to get the Gucci's, the Bali sneaks and shit like that. You know what I mean?
They really set. The OGs, they said it, man.
Look, man,
they raised the bar, man.
You know what I got a pair of that I knew I couldn't get a pair of back then, but they're a little cheap now, but I still wanted to.
Don't say British Knights.
No, Theodores. I had a pair of British Knights back in the day, but I never had a pair of Theodores. I have a pair.
You know what?
I just had them on other.
I never bought a pair of Theodores. I liked them. But it was always some Air Maxes, some Jordan, like
I was big on.
I had all the Bo Jacksons. I had all of them. Who else? Andre Agassi's.
He had a pair. I never had a pair. Andre.
I'm about to fire them now.
They was definitely fire, and they were definitely big in the hood. You know what I mean? I was big on Air Max's cross trainers. I had cross trainers, shit like that.
The black, purple, and white joint.
I had a pair that no one had, and this is when I knew my first pair because I was looking for what I was looking for, and I couldn't find them. My mind used to take me to all the stores, and I was like, "Damn, where the fuck these sneakers at?" To the point where I just went back to the other store and like I liked them because I knew no one had them. And these was a pair of cross trainers. No one had them, and this is in middle school. Roman Middle School, and I remember the first grade. I was like, yo, I fuck with them Jones. Then that's where I said, yo, I like them Jones. Where you get them Jones from? Yo, and from that point on, I said, I'm sorry, cop and sleep. No one got it. And that's when I knew
you get that reaction.
Yeah,
let them follow you.
Yeah.
But you know what other store that we forgot the name? It just popped up in my head like a light bulb. Athlete's Foot.
Oh man, Athlete's Foot. Damn, man, you took it back. They had a lot.
Second floor in the gallery.
What about Samson too? Samson had.
Oh yeah. They came a little later.
Stores. Yeah,
they ain't like they used to be.
No, not.
They used to be the truth.
But back then, they
about
had
15 years ago, they was the truth.
They used to have the exclusives.
I ain't messed with nowhere else but them for a minute.
They had the exclusives, man.
And they had them both on Chestnut.
I used to fuck with them joints heavy, man.
And the one down South Street.
Because it was one up 69th Street too. We used to go to. That was
Olympia had a nice run.
Olympia, yeah.
Front Dolphin, for those that know, no.
Olympia had passing. Oh man, damn, you took it back right there.
Yeah.
Damn. So, leading up to this question, this is a big question as far as hip hop. Because we in hip hop and we still doing music, we still making music. Why is being old in hip hop a stigma and not in other genres?
You know what's crazy? Because when hip hop first came out, with my experience, everybody was older than us. We were kids, right?
Right.
So hip hop started out as like an older cousin or an uncle rapping. Those were the age brackets, like when hip hop first came out. So why y'all thinking that it's a young thing? No. As we got over to our like 20s, then it's like, oh, all right, but it was still other rappers older than us.
Right. But
you know what I mean?
And so, also you gotta add too that even when hip hop started, they were like teenagers and shit like that. You know, teenagers going into the
right, but they were older. Like that. But they were older than us.
Right. Yeah. Factual. But I'm just stating that like when it started, it was already young from people who started it young as well. You know what I mean?
They were young at the time, but we were like little kids
coming up.
Yeah, we weren't even teenagers yet.
No,
like I wasn't even a teenager when hip hop came out.
Shit, I wasn't even born when
you know what I'm saying? I was a little kid. And before that, we was listening to oldies. We grew up off of that.
Yes.
Same thing with the people that's older than us. That's why so much stuff was getting sampled.
Yes.
That's exactly. And it's like you said earlier about digging in them crates, getting them records.
Yeah.
Getting them samples. Then you got to get that clear, and you got to get this clear. You know what I mean? You can't just sample nothing because you was getting sued.
Yeah. And I think too far as that stigma of being old in hip hop, like right now we of age. We're not. Let's just keep it a bean. Don't let the greed.
Yeah, the brain never stop working.
You know what I mean?
As you get older, you get smarter.
Yeah. But we still sharp. You know what I mean? We still make great music and things of that nature. But I think one of the reasons I think because they say it's a young man's game because of the content, right? They think the content you can't talk about the streets anymore or anything like that. My thing is that it's how you talk about the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're younger, teenage, adolescence, going to your 20s and shit like that, you talk about streets in a different way. When you get a little older, a little wiser, gray hair, you know what I mean? You start talking about it in a different way of as a spectator, as what it was or what you've seen or what you've been through and things of that nature. It's not actually what you're seeing, you're doing and stuff like that. I just think too also because it started when like DJ Kool Herc and all them guys, they were young, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they look at it as you have to be young, and when you get older, you can no longer do it no more. Hip hop wise, and this is only in the hip hop culture.
Yeah.
Whereas though you got rock and roll artists, you have R&B artists, you have soul artists, you have musicians and things of that nature that is still performing to this day. And they in their 60s and 70s and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And it's still touring.
Selling out, venues and things of that nature because they got a core, a core fan base. I think because of that, and they look at hip hop like, because it's still young. Like I said earlier, it's about 52 years old. That's young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you gotta understand. They look at it as a young man's game, but it's really not. It's getting older, and it's going to continue to get older. Those young artists is going to be older. So what, they supposed to stop rapping? You know what I mean? Especially
yeah, what somebody saying about y'all, then what y'all gonna do?
You feel me? So, and I think because if you didn't make it to the mainstream, they look at it like it's not an accomplishment.
Right, and this is the thing too that I was just thinking, as you was talking.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see somebody that you ain't seen in years? Like, well, you basically you barely like remember them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, you remember me? I used to change your diapers. I'm like, oh, for real? But you know how old I am now?
Yeah.
But that's how hip hop is. We changed hip hop diapers, man.
Damn.
It was an infant, man.
Hey, hello.
Hip hop just grew up,
and we grew up with it.
Yeah, exactly.
We grew up with it. We was in it. So for people that's in our age bracket, you know what I mean, and older, and for the younger folks to understand this, we grew up with hip hop. We seen it at the stage of the beginning stage, like you said, the infant stage.
Yeah.
We changed his diapers. We birthed it. We gave it Similac. We gave it milk. We watched it grow, and then we started teaching it how to walk. You know what I mean? And then we started teaching it how to run,
how to ride a bike with training wheels.
You know what I mean? And then we took the training wheels off.
Right.
You feel me? And then we started showing it what girls are. You know,
and you know what's
the
crazy?
Birds and the bees and all that shit.
We was listening to hip hop when we was virgins. So after we get some, we supposed to stop listening to it.
You know?
You tripping? I'm understanding more now. I'm on another different level.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
And
it makes it even more better because now when you mature in hip hop, as hip hop is maturing, as we see it at a high level, it's maturing now to the point now that now we can still do what we supposed to do and still be married to the game and still do, you know what I mean? But with that analogy, it was a baby when it started when we started listening to it.
It grew up with us.
It grew up with us. So y'all have to understand that even now, for the artists, and I want to talk to the artists that still making music, don't stop. Don't let anyone, discourage you because you are of age. I don't even want to say old. You are of age in hip hop culture. Because you gotta look at it like this too. If you look at the old heads back in the day and how they look, to the old heads now and how we look. And I'm just talking about appearance and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop got us still looking like we supposed to be looking like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Real shit. Like this is hip hop culture. We are hip hop.
Ain't nobody said nobody too old to be doing R&B.
Hello.
Right on Isley still cutting arrows.
He cutting, yeah.
He way older than we are.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You got artists like, Patti LaBelle who still doing her thing.
Ain't she about 80?
Yeah. And looking good too, don't
And got a young boy.
You feel me? So in music, and I want to let this be known, good music, great music, never gets old.
No, it does not.
It lives forever.
It does not.
Because you gotta look at the other artists that's still doing their thing, who still making money. Not even they ain't got a tour. They music getting played, and they still getting that royalty check and things of that nature. Companies are still eating off of some of these artists and things like that. So good music does not get old.
Look at Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass, all of them.
You know what I mean?
They passed on, but their music is still keeps their legacy alive, man.
Look at our fallen soldiers in the hip hop culture. You know what I mean? You gotta look at the Biggies, the Tupacs, the Big Puns, the Big L's, the DJ Jam Master J's and things.
Rob Bass just passed away not even 2 weeks ago. But when It Takes Two come on,
hello,
you still gonna get up and dance, enjoy your pain.
That still rock the crowd.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You
gotta think about every time.
Oh man, you gotta think about the house parties that it rocked. You know what I mean?
Man, remember the dollar parties, man?
The dollar party. You gotta think about
Luke. That era, man.
When Luke came on, when Monk Doodoo Brown, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
The reggae, and reggae is a big part of hip hop.
Yep.
You know, that's part of reggae. Is part of hip hop. You gotta think. You know, DJ Kool Herc was Jamaican when he put those tunes together. You know what I mean? He brought that Jamaican culture over and turned it into hip hop because of the music, because of the drum, because of what he was sampling and things of that nature to mix it all in. And then once they mixed
that was
all
our
that
club
in,
music.
That became
The reggae was our club music.
Hello. You dig me? So the age the music doesn't have an age. And we want to kill that stigma. You know what I mean? But it takes us, for all our listeners, for all our viewers that is listening, who is watching. You know what I mean? We have to be able to separate the age with great music.
Yeah, cut it out.
Cut it out. Cut it out. You know what I mean? So, ending off with that, you know what I mean, and with hip hop culture and what we bring to the table, you know what I mean. Shout out to my man. Shout out to the whole team, man. Will Max,
it's the recipe, y'all.
You know what I mean. Shout out to our extended family. Shout out to Black Metal Entertainment, Bloodsport, MAR, Kev. You know what I mean. Shout out to Jaraji. Shout out to Blesser. Shout out to our whole, you know what I mean, circle, you know what I mean, decorated jackets, you know what I mean. We doing our thing. Continue to keep making music. For everyone who supported, put in work, man, we support y'all for real, man. And that's all walks of life who came through to our events, who copped our music, who subscribe to our YouTube channels, who listen and watch our podcasts and things like that, man.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Ain't that what you say, Knox? You know what I mean?
My man says, my old American, appreciate you, dog.
Yo, man, I want to end it off with this, man. We in the kitchen, the recipe. It's your boy Bills.
And it's your boy Knox.
Hey, man, follow us, man. You can follow us at PIW Entertainment YouTube channel, where you'll find the recipe at. Shout out to our family, Total Define Entertainment, E-Dubs After Dark. We also got the jar, We in the Kitchen. We got Dream Teams, you know what I mean? Shout out to T, shout out to Cocky Cat. And I want to shout out to our folks here, the production.
Yes.
CEO Row Production. Shout out to Tor. Shout out to CEO
Row.
Oh, man. We love y'all, man.
My man, 50 grand with 10 grand in his hand.
You see us. You know what it is, man. We in the kitchen. The recipe coming to a TV near you. Like, subscribe, share, comment.
And don't forget to hit that notification bell.
And when you hit that bell, we appear.
Voila. Y'all ain't him.
Oh, get them.
Big grandma, Janie Armstrong. All praises to the Most High. I wake up just to get fly. Italian suits with the neckties. Leather troops were the best ride. Miss Ludger, thank you for your time. Inner city kid, just need a drive. My teacher used to tutor me. Only the future knew what it'll do to me. A leader, what I soon to be. Showing love is the energy. And I pray for my enemies. My pop said I can be who I wanna be. Just be true to self when you wanna be. I fell in love musically. R&B, then hip hop was new to me. Shout out to Big Brother who influenced me.